Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope everyone is staying well and safe. Lots of craziness going on out there in the world. Hopefully you guys have enough toilet paper. We lucked out because we were at Walmart on Sunday and we did our grocery shopping and we were sitting there having some breakfast and I noticed people had toilet paper in their carts, so we went back and got ours. Thank goodness they're starting to limit that kind of stuff. So yeah, today you're looking at the painting that I did last week. It turned out gorgeous. Really happy with how it dried. It's going to be hard to get the cells in there for you guys because of the glare, because there's so much bling going on in this painting. So I think this one will be really cool resined. It's not on a great canvas. It's just a value canvas, but I think because of how it came out, it'll be worth resining. And I think I'll do that for the giveaway. So yeah, pretty cool. Couple other things I have for you guys. Here's the tile that was my inspiration. So I think that came out beautiful too. Will look just gorgeous resined. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Yep. Those cells will pop back up again and that black will be shiny instead of flat. When you resin, it really pops everything back up again. Another thing one of my friends brought in, I think some of you probably saw on Facebook, but these are like reels. They're on a reel, and she brought me just the basic clear plastic part. It has an alligator clip on it. So you can clip it to your clothing. And then it has this badge, or it has this holder here. So what she wanted them for was quilting, her friend's quilt. And they attach their little scissors to this clip part. And then clip it to their clothing so they can always find their scissors. So she asked me to pour on them. But I thought even better than trying to pour on them and resin them, I had these 30 millimeter cabochons. And so I just did, some blooms on a tile, and then I just dipped the cabochon in. And this is what I use to dip my cabochons. It's just a popsicle stick with, this stuff sticks to everything. Some poster putty tack stuff that you can buy. Sometimes it's blue, sometimes it's just like a whitish color, off-white color, and you just put a glob of that on the end of your stick, put your cabochon on, dome side up, put that on, and then you just dip it into your wet paint. And then, take it off the stick, flip it over, let it dry. And then when they're done, just use some E6000 and glue them on. So they turned out really pretty. A lot of people, I guess, especially like in hospitals, workplaces, use these for their badges. They're actually badge holders. So kind of cool, something else we can make to sell. So she's very happy with those, and I'll be giving those to her. I'm just going to I think I'm going to charge her like $5 each for them, for dipping them. And you can find those on Amazon. If you just put in alligator clip, reel, badge holder, they'll come up. And they're a little under $1 each. So you can make a pretty good profit. Even if you sold them for $10, $12 each, do a special, 2 for $10 or $12 each kind of thing. All right, so one other thing I wanted to show you that I found today. Well, actually, I found these online. They are paint pouring canvases, and they're different because they have ultra smooth canvas surface, and they have put in, I don't know if you can see that here, they have put in a support panel underneath. So that gray that you're seeing there is, yeah, sorry about the glare, but that is a support. So it makes it, much better to pour on for paint pouring. Really cool. They had them on sale this weekend. I don't know if they're still on sale, But I went on and ordered a bunch of them. I think they were $3 something each. 3 or 4 something each. So, got a few of those. I'll try them out. I'll probably try them out next week. Just to see how they work and if they're any different. But, interesting. New stuff. All right. I had trouble deciding what I was going to do today because I had several new things I want to show you guys, but I think we're going to play around with this one a little bit more. I did a little bit yesterday to see. I have a background in watercolor. That's my first love. So when I started working with the primary elements, color art pigments, they're kind of like watercolors in that they're transparent. So you can play around with that transparency like you would a watercolor. The other thing I wanted to try, which I did, was putting down floetrol and using them that way instead. And I got this. I think it's pretty cool. I like the, you know, the iridescent and the shininess of the color art pigments. And so that's why I thought it would be cool to have them by themselves. I mixed them with my floetrol and my glue all, just like I would mix my regular paint formula. They will come out thinner because there is no body to them. They are just pigments, like powder form. So they're going to come out runnier, but that consistency is good for a Dutch pour. So that's basically what I did with this. I don't know if you can see this flower right here. Came out really good. I'm really happy with that one. And trust me, this is not out of focus. This, you can see that my hand is in focus. These came out really watery, like almost like a watercolor kind of look to them. But I think I like the definition of this one better because it was kind of on its own. So I'm going to try some of that today. I'm going to do it for you to show you. Floetrol dries clear. So what I did, which I'll show you, I'm going to lay down a coat of floetrol for my base. I need to grab some gloves real quick. I also put down a coat of white base paint and let it dry. So I flooded my canvas like you normally would with your normal base paint and let it dry, just so that there is a heavier coat on the canvas of paint. You probably don't have to do that, but with these being so transparent, I just wanted to have less of that, you know, canvas texture showing through the painting, because I'm only going to be putting down floetrol. So that's what I recommend for that. I have some colors mixed up here that are my color art from the Bright Blooms collection. I'm going to go ahead and put my floetrol down and then we'll get started. Oh, I wanted to shout out to Brian of Spontaneous Creations. I got this cool floetrol cap filter from him. You can look him up on Facebook or on YouTube. And Brian Ward is his name. And you can order those for $10. What I like to do is I have the smaller bottle and then I have my gallons. So I shake up my gallon, pour it into my smaller bottle, and then have the filter on the smaller bottle. The smaller bottle is just easier to pour from for me. So, but as you can see, works really well. It filters out your big clumps of anything that you might have in there in your floetrol. And then when I'm done with it, I just make sure that I wipe it real good. As long as you get your cap back on it, it's not going to dry out. So just wipe it real good and put your cap back on it. Shout out to Brian. Great job. Great design. I know he's sent out a bunch of them to a bunch of people already. So yeah, just really cool. So I'm just putting my floetrol on like I normally would a flood coat. I'm thinking I am going to do just some blown flowers and see what that looks like. Because I already know what the stem kind of stuff looks like. Those stems came out really cool too, where I did the stems and the leaves. I just did with a stick, and I just put the paint down and then dipped the stick into the green and just made. Well, no, I didn't lay it down. I just used the stick to draw in those leaves and petals. But it kind of left a line where I ran it through the floetrol. So that's kind of cool too. Just, this is all just a big experiment. We'll see where it takes us. All right, got my floetrol down for my base. I'm going to give it a little bit of a torch just to get out any bubbles. Oh, my flame didn't want to go off. I didn't stir these up yet. Okay, well that one is dried out. Interesting. Oh no, the rest of them are fine. Okay, so this is, I believe, you can see how watery these are. So that's just the floetrol and the glue all. Put the glue all in to disperse the pigments, about a little scoop of the pigment, and then wipe that off. Okay, so this one I believe is passion. It's either passion or ginger flower. I didn't write on them. I just wrote Dutch pour, so I knew these were different from my other ones. All right. So I'm just going to make some puddles, and I'm going to blow them out, just like I would. I just want abstract flower kind of stuff, and then I'll put maybe some leaves and some greenery in behind it. And I'm just going to pour right from the container. I'm going to do a pink, and I'm going to do an orange. This one is the coral berry, I believe. They look a little different, but I think I can see that pink shimmer in there, so. And then I can go in and add some dots of color for other flowers if I decide I want to do that. I'm going to add a little bit of the pink to the orange. And then a little bit of the sunflower. And with the sunflower, I just mixed it up by itself. I didn't put any of the gold in it. It's just the sunflower. Okay. And then I want to do a little bit of the coral berry here. You can see how it's already starting to disperse into that floetrol, and it will get bigger too if you were just to let it sit. It's kind of a cool thing that it does with the floetrol. All right, let's get out my straw. You know what? I'm going to get out my turntable because I want to be able to spin this as I'm blowing. Okay, let's make sure. Yeah, you're still in there. All right. Alrighty. I think I'm going to do one more over here. Let's do a yellow. And then the pink. And the coral berry. Now remembering too that if you wanted to have a background, you know, you could do a background, paint with acrylic painting, or even do a pour, let that dry completely, then put your floetrol down and do the flowers over that. So that's something else I'm going to explore, but something you guys could check out too, just to see, you know, play around with this. In this crazy time that we're dealing with right now, it's so nice to have an outlet that you can just go in and be creative and not have to worry so much about the craziness that's going on out in the world. I'm just going to do a couple little like blossoms, just to give some depth and interest. I thought it would be cool too to maybe try some, like with the blue, and swipe it with maybe some of the cell activator and see what that does. Maybe I'll just do a little corner of like it would be the sky, just to see. This is just kind of playing. You know, to get some cloud-like. Okay, I'm just going to put a little drop of green on these. Blow them out. I think I got the wrong end of the straw in my mouth. I always do that. That one got a lot of green. I love with the floetrol, the cells that you get, and that's when you blow, you're still getting that kind of cell stuff going on. So let's put some stems. Just kind of drawing with my stick. This, by the way, this green is peacock feather. By same color art. Remember that everything you put down is going to expand. It's going to kind of like melt. I think I want to go mix up a little bit more of the I think I want some green, lighter green. I think I might go mix up some. Cool thing too is you don't really have to worry about going back into your color as long as you're using the same color because it's floetrol. So you're not really contaminating anything, which is cool. Okay, let's, I'm going to get some lighter green. I'll show you guys how I mix that up. Okay, I have my key lime that I'm going to use. I'm just going to put a scoop of that. I'll show you guys. Scoop a little bit in my cup. I'm going to pour some glue all over the top of that. Just a little bit. All you're doing is you want to disperse that paint into something. And you can make these thicker. I'm sure if you wanted to add a little bit of tube paint, you could use them that way too. A little bit of tube paint will thicken them up and give them some body. Less floetrol. But like I said, I wanted these to kind of be like a Dutch pour, so. Okay, so I've got that in there, and then I'm just gonna double that amount. Oops, took off the wrong lid. So I basically just covered up my paint that I had in there. Remember to wipe that bottle off every time I put that lid back on. But so worth it. Okay, my floetrol bottle, that's what I was talking about. Okay, so you saw that was just covering up what I had in there. Stir it up real well. It's about the consistency of what a Dutch pour would be. I just want to add some dots here and there of the light green. Remembering again, those are going to spread out. You can already kind of see it dispersing into the floetrol. This will be interesting to show you guys next week what it looks like dry. It's looking pretty cool so far. I want to add some more orange back in there into that. I didn't like how that one blew out. So I'm just going to put it at the back there. Put a little bit more of the green, although I don't know if I need very much. Okay, that's better. Better. I would imagine too you could put this down and do your swipe or whatever else you wanted to do and move it around a little bit. All right, what else do I want to do? I think I just want to try some of the sky blue to see what it will do. going to add it to the corner over here. And go ahead and spread it out. Oh, even just swiping it is giving me a little bit of cells. Can you guys see that? Selling up over there. Interesting. So you could actually, you know, dig into that, and that's why it's kind of like watercolor, because you're using the white of the canvas is your white. So it's a little bit opposite of what we normally work with in acrylics. Yeah, that's cool. Let's see though what a little bit of white cell activator will do, since we're just playing. Where is my white cell activator? Oh, moving. All right, I'm going to bring you guys down over here so you can see this closer when I swipe it. See where it's going to be your best view. Okay. So I'm going to swipe with my left hand, so we'll see. Yeah, we got some lacing a little bit there. Let's see if I can pull it down. Make it look more like clouds. Huh. I think it looks more like water. But interesting. All right. I think these are going to be really pretty when they dry too, because it's got a lot of, you know, that's all those primary elements are is shimmer. So I think once it dries, it's going to be really cool. Oops, I don't want to use that stick. So yeah, I think, you know, I could see all kinds of applications for this. I think if you wanted to put down a blue background, and then you could, or a green background, let it dry, put your flowers on top of it. Get some really cool effects going on. I still think, you know, more with that cell activator. Oh my gosh, yesterday when I was blowing out those other flowers, and I did another one that was like a water one, thought I was going to pass out. That straw, telling you. Okay, I think I'm going to go in and just add some dots of color here and there, just to see what they do. And we'll see what this looks like next week when it dries. So take care, you guys. Be safe. Take care of yourselves. Use hand sanitizer everywhere you go if you have it. I had a big conversation with the girls at work today about whether we should go to work. But we all think, because, you know, we're hairdressers, so they haven't really said anything to you know, kind of lead us to what we should be doing. So we're all decided that we're just going to go to work and see how it goes. Not really a lot else we can do right now. Just, you know, be safe. And that's all I'm telling you guys. Just be safe. Use your hand sanitizer. Try not to go out if you don't have to go out. And be kind to your neighbors and be kind to other people. If you can help them out, do that. Especially the elderly. So take care, my friends. I will see you next week. Hope you have a good one. Thanks. Bye-bye.